All
All
right.
right.
So,
All right.
after many technical difficulties, we are now recording.
Right.
So,
And
I think Austin
yeah,
has an announcement to make.
Yes.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
As of this recording, it is Tony Romo's birthday. Happy birthday to my favorite quarterback I've ever watched. So,
Right.
happy
Yes.
birthday. 41.
And I'll be quick with it, but for those listeners who don't know, when Austin and I were roommates in college, he told me about a dream he had about Tony Romo.
That's
Where in
right.
his remember in your dream, Tony Romo was pretty much Santa Claus.
That's right.
And
I think we told the story on
did we tell this
podcast
dream?
already.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then I won't tell it
so.
all again. But just to make sure our listeners know, Austin is a big Tony Romo fan. He means
big-
it. So
Big Romo fan.
We dem boys.
yeah. All right. So our idea for today, what we're doing today, everyone, is we are going to rank the NFL quarterbacks going into the 2021 season. We got this nice tier list that we're going to work with, and we're going to discuss and debate, and we're going to rank these quarterbacks exactly where they belong, and that's the exact grade they actually are, and there's no debate about it. That's just the answer for anyone watching. It's
Yeah,
not our
what we
opinion,
say
it's
goes.
just fact. Yeah, exactly. This is not opinion at all. This is just science.
Ugh, guys, I just realized something.
What?
This tier list doesn't even have Taysom Hill.
Is he really a
We're not,
quarterback? Is he even
we're
a
not
quarterback?
doing a
Dude,
running back tier list, dude.
We need to make a new tier list that has Taysom Hill because
We could put
No,
Taysom Hill at the
dude.
end, and we just won't even place him. Like,
Whoa. I just figured out something. Thomas, click presentation mode real quick. See that little button there? Oh, I don't know.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know if that makes it better to want to look at or not. I don't know, but presenting now, I guess.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
Okay, so do we want to like this time around, or are we just gonna all just debate each one and just come to a consensus and just
I think that's
do
a
it
good
that way?
idea because last time I feel like there was too much disagreement. So
Right.
I'll try to not be as disagreeable.
I'm going to disagree as much as I disagree. I'm going to be genuine.
Okay.
Yeah, just be genuine. That's it. Just
All
have
right.
the right take. That's all you need to do.
Okay. Well, let's get going then. And
Uh-huh.
I think we need to make a shout out to Alex Smith because he's the first one on the list. And of course, we all know he announced his retirement last week. So,
Right.
what do we even do with him? Can I like move? Oh, we'll put him in the back.
So how are we
He's in the
defining
back.
the tiers? Like, what's bad enough to be on? What's the lowest one? D. I can barely
Yeah.
see it.
Well, yeah, D's just got to be, what it is. It's the worst of
Like,
all the starting
your team should
quarterbacks.
replace you.
Probably. Yeah, I think if you're D, then your team's definitely looking to upgrade like 100%.
Okay, and then C. Then what makes C different from D?
I'd say we're gonna have to define C and B, but I'm considering B and C are both like the categories where your team might not necessarily feel like they need to replace you now, but if they're C, then it's like they probably should replace you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so not maybe as urgent. And then B is just like, treading water sort of quarterback. And
You can win.
yeah,
You can go to the playoffs, but you're not sure they can win the big one.
yeah, like they'll maybe get you to the playoffs. They have a chance to get you there, but and then A, is really great quarterbacks, and of course S is just the elite tier, right? Just the
Yeah.
best, the best.
All right.
C is probably like You could be replaced if something good came along, but
Okay.
Yeah,
nothing's come along.
exactly.
B is average, A is good, S is S. All right.
Let's do this.
And
thing.
we're doing this going into, so we're almost like predicting how they'll perform in this coming season.
right.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Not
Okay.
like all-time stats or anything like that. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
how they're
Yeah.
gonna hang 2021.
All right. So first one, Aaron Rodgers. What are we thinking, guys? I mean, he's obviously the reigning MVP right now, so
I mean, softball to start, right? That's got to be elite S tier, right?
Yeah.
especially just because his offense through free agency has gotten better. Or at least, yeah. I mean, it's stayed the same and they've made a few replacements on the offensive line. I don't think Aaron Rodgers, the only thing that'll keep him from staying in the S tier is if he takes his job at Jeopardy too seriously.
Yeah, sounds like he might want to, but yeah, no,
He'll
Aaron
be fine.
Rodgers.
Bottom line is he gets the NFC Championship game every year. He makes the playoffs every year. He's healthy.
Exactly.
So, like,
Yeah.
He's not doing anything to hold his team back. He's
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
a limiting factor at all.
and carries him more years than not. So
I agree.
Yeah.
definitely S tier.
Aaron Rodgers,
Baker.
S tier. Okay. Yep. Baker Mayfield.
Oh, this one's maybe a little tough for guys. See, that's where Baker's probably. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
a
B.
B Baker, yeah, right. What?
I think so,
Yeah.
just because like he's definitely not the strongest.
I mean, do you agree with that, Austin?
Yeah, like to me, it's between B and C, but I would say B just because I'd rather be optimistic about him than pessimistic. So, I mean, he's a guy that took the Browns to the playoffs, so it's hard to say
Yeah.
to like knock a guy for that when a lot of other quarterbacks have tried. But like talent wise, he's not amazing at anything where it's like, wow, he's got really good pocket presence. Oh wow, he's really good at avoiding the rush. He's fast. No, big arm. No, accurate, kinda. But like, I don't know. The Brown. I don't think he's like if something better came along. Well, obviously, anytime something better comes along, you can replace it. But like, it wouldn't be easy. I don't think it's an easy just go get some other guy type situation.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
you got to give some credit to him because, I mean, starting year one, he's made sure that the Browns, I mean, since he's been their starting quarterback out of the draft, the Browns have been on an uptrend as far as success goes. And I don't think you can credit it all to him. Actually, a lot of it, no. But here's the deal. Going into this season, I mean, the Browns just signed Jadeveon Clowney. So now they have another defensive weapon. I mean, his team is stacked. So
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to like, I think the Browns may get far into the playoffs, possibly the AFC Championship. And if they don't, it'll be Baker's fault. Or I think a lot of it will be easy to pin on Baker and his, his mistakes and his ego and yeah.
Right. I agree, guys.
Going into 2021, he'll be B tier. Like just talking about next year.
Yeah.
With the talent around him.
Well, so far, we got B for Baker. Real quick, look at the next three quarterbacks. What if I told you the first letter of their name is the same tier ranking they should have? What would you guys say to that?
I can't even tell who they are.
You can't tell. We got Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, and Dak Prescott.
I would disagree.
Okay.
No. All right, let's go.
I actually think Ben Roethlisberger is
Yeah, this is where we're gonna argue, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go.
I think he's between. If there was like a between B and C, that's where I would put him. I think I'll put him B just because he still does have a good team around him. So I don't think they'll ever let him like miserably fail. But I don't think he's gonna do that many favors for his team.
Now, one
makes
thing I
sense.
do want to clarify just going forward, are we taking into account the team or just like the quarterback itself, like how valuable the quarterback is? Because I guess
Yeah.
I'm just looking at like the quarterback going into the year, but
I guess
um,
like if you're going into the year, like what defines success? Like, are you going to be your normal self, just talent wise? Because then that translates to many years. Whereas, how do you think they'll fare
I think
next
I
year?
think this is
The team does affect that, so it does make it a little bit tougher. But
yeah.
like
I think it's performance, how this individual is going to perform next year, whether it's by the help of their team or not.
oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. Sounds good. But yeah, I actually agree. I mean, Ben, if when you said Thomas that like kind of between B and C, I definitely am more B side, but I see your point. I especially going into the year, Big Ben's getting older. Some lots of people from his draft class are retired. Eli, Philip, and Ben's getting older. So I think yeah, that's a good spot. I would still say B because I still felt like he played pretty well last season, but I see the potential for it being more like a C as well. So I don't know, Austin. What do you think?
if we're comparing, because like the tiers are relative to each other, and
Mhm.
so if we're there are worse quarterbacks. There are plenty of worse quarterbacks. I guess we'll see than Ben. I think still a solid option as a starting quarterback in the league, just with his experience alone.
All right.
That puts him above other people.
All
So
right, we'll put him B.
B's fine.
We'll put him B. Cam, I do agree, is a C.
I will see. Guys, maybe D though. I don't know. Like C or D's. I don't know because the Patriots re-signed him, but I think he needs to go. And
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was replaced actually by the beginning of the season either.
well, and you guys hear the rumors that the Patriots are thinking about trading for Jordan Love off the Packers.
I did see that.
I did not see that.
So
Whoa. Huh.
kind of a rumor, yeah. And there's talk about them trading up in the draft. Man, I don't know. I guess to me, I would say if I had Cam Newton right now, I would be like, he cannot be my starting quarterback next year, to be honest. But maybe you guys feel different.
Dude, it's just
No, I don't disagree.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, dude, he was an MVP at one point. So it's so like I think so much I base of my opinion of him is based on the fact that it's like I know he has potential to be really good, but you're right. This last year he was bad, and he's probably going to get replaced. And if he doesn't get replaced, I don't think he's going to do better. So he probably is a D.
Yeah, what made him good has declined, and the stuff he was able to overcompensate for, like his accuracy, he needs it more than he ever did, and
Yeah.
it's where it's always been. So, yeah, D's fine with me. Like he's definitely a guy that you're looking to replace soon. He's not a franchise quarterback right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agree. All right, moving on to Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Austin, where do you want to
Oh,
put him?
I'll be the first
yeah.
to say it. He's B tier.
Yeah. Sounds about right, I'd
Like
say.
he's better than people, but he's not elite, and
I don't
he's
know.
not obvious. He's obviously not a playoff, like perennial playoff maker. Because if he was, then they wouldn't have started off 1-5 with him starting. But
But at the same time, I feel like the beginning of the season, he was carrying that entire team on his back. Like, if he could perform the same way he did those first 5 games or 6 games, whatever the season, and he had a better team around him, which we at least know the defense of the Cowboys should be slightly better, right? Offense, not too
the
many
idea.
changes have happened. No, didn't they replace?
Well, the offense is really good. What's bad as far as like weapons go is amazing. The offensive line is not anything what it used to be.
Yeah,
So that hurt because like the entire offensive line was backups at one point last year.
yeah.
But what the only thing keeping him out of C is just like he has been in situations where he elevated the team to a higher level to get back into games after Zeke fumbled twice in the red zone, well, the Falcons red zone in their territory and gave up a bunch of points, like things that went wrong that weren't his fault. He later overcame in games.
Yeah. I honestly feel like, going into this season, if you guys agreed, I would be willing to put him in an A. Because I'm not basing this on what I think his team's record is going to be. Just on individual performance, I think he's better than average.
Well, I do think he'll get more MVP votes than Kyler Murray.
Oh
year.
man.
But
Yeah,
I like A through C is I can see an argument for all of that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I don't want to be like a lunatic Cowboys fan and say A. So I'm trying to humble myself, be B.
Yeah.
But I honestly could like myself and my real opinions could argue C too. So to me, like the happy medium is B.
I agree. I agree.
Right.
I think you could make an argument for A, B, or C. So let's just put him in the mean. Put him in the median.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
All right. I always forget this guy's name. Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. C tier, probably.
I think
That's pretty
C.
road
I
for
think
him.
that's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, he hasn't earned his way into B yet. But
No, he's like he is what we talked about for the C category. Like his team really should be getting ready to move off of him, but they're still stewing. You know what I mean? They're not making waves to change it up just yet, but it's probably coming.
Yeah, they're not in a position to change, and they would if they were probably, but they're not at this point.
And this will be
Right.
his 3rd season, right? And I just feel like, going into this year, is he gonna perform like a B? I don't think he even has the potential to be an A, but like, is he gonna perform like a B? Probably not. I don't think he's gonna play as well as. I don't think his stats are gonna be as well. I just don't think he's a C.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I look at these 3: Baker Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger, Dak Prescott in the B category, and I think they're all going to be better than him.
I agree.
that's a fair.
100%.
All right, next one.
Derek Carr.
Oof.
B tier, right?
I would say so.
I think Thomas has got the right idea there. Yeah, because he played pretty good, to be honest. He had a pretty good 2020, but obviously wasn't enough to get his team to the playoffs or anything like that. So,
yeah, I think there's something about the Raiders that just fall apart at the end of the year, and I don't know if that's Derek Carr's fault, but that happens. So.
yeah, it's just their nature, man. I think Derek Carr, I think he'll have another B season, to be honest. He'll be fine. I think I do think this year probably will be his last year with the Raiders because they're kind of like the Daniel Jones situation where I think they want to move off of Derek Carr.
Yeah. It's almost like
but
they
I-
wanted to this year too, but then he was like doing better to like ever justify moving off him. Just like slightly
get-
better, right?
And you get the feeling that like bothers John Gruden. He's like, come on, just suck a little worse, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
so yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Gosh, Deshaun Watson next. Ugh.
Dude, is Homeboy
or-
even playing next year?
I think he's good. If we're talking about next year,
Yeah.
he's probably
If he
he's a
plays,
D or he doesn't even get a ring.
in my opinion, but if he doesn't, then
We need a new tier, J for
Yeah,
jail. No, just kidding.
I think
No.
we should just leave him in D because of the
Yeah.
situation he's in.
that's a good. I like that.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be.
Save some time.
And we should probably just put this one in D too because
Who is that? Drew Lock.
Drew. I would put Drew at. He's a C level. Like, if I'm being honest, like he's good enough. Like, just like Daniel Jones, where like they'll put him out there next year, and there's still some debate. Like, he might still be good. Like, we don't know, but like he's in C because everyone knows he should be replaced, and he very well might be replaced still.
Mhm.
You know, there's a very good chance the Broncos draft a quarterback, but I don't know. That's where I would put him.
I'm fine
Okay.
with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Drew Lock
that's fine.
C.
That's good.
True. Okay. The weird fact for anyone paying attention, but this next quarterback's the first one that doesn't have a name that starts with A through D that we've ranked so far. I don't know why.
I think they're in alphabetical order by first name.
Is it? Okay, well then that would explain it.
Okay, Nick Foles, is he even going to be starting this year?
Who do the Bears
no.
even have? Oh yeah, Andy Dalton.
Back
Yeah,
up behind Andy. Why isn't Andy
Yeah,
Dalton on
where's
here?
Andy? Where's Dandy?
Let's
Andy?
just make Nick Andy Dalton.
All
How about we do
right.
that?
For those of you listening, forget we even mentioned Nick Foles. Up next is Andy Dalton. For those of you watching, just pretend this guy has some more red hair. I
That's
think
weird. I guess not in alphabetical order because Nick starts with an N, so never mind.
I think Nick
That's pretty
Foles.
close.
I mean, I think Andy Dalton is a C because that's what he was for the Cowboys. Probably what he'll be for the Bears.
I think that's even generous. I expected more from Andy Dalton as a backup than what we got. Like he had more weapons than he ever had
Yeah.
in Cincinnati, and didn't do much with them.
But what do you think he's gonna do on the Bears? Probably worse. 'Cause he has less weapons.
I don't think he's even as good as Mitch Trubisky
All right.
because he's
Let's-
not even as athletic.
All right. Andy
That's-
Dalton D tier. I'm sold.
Yeah, actually, I was totally swayed there too. I would have said C, but yeah, you're right. He should be D, and they just got him. The Bears better have
Oh,
some
man.
plan up their sleeve, man.
That's-
That's bad.
Poor Bears fans.
They went all in on the Russell Wilson hype train, and that train crashed, burned bad,
Yeah.
and they had no plan B. It looks like.
The Bears. Okay. Next up, we've got Parker's-
Jared Goff.
Parker's favorite NFL player, Jared Goff.
He is, and my knock against him is he's the definition of a mediocre quarterback. So he probably should be like B. He's just like, I mean, he's better than Drew Lock, and he's better than Daniel Jones probably. I don't know. I'd put him B, but I wouldn't mind if you guys want him
that's
C.
pretty
I'd love
generous.
to see him C.
Well,
That'd
here's
be
the
great.
thing. I think he's B on the Rams, but I think he might be C on the Lions. Just
He
because
might be D on the
His-
Lions.
he just went from
Actually,
having a really good offensive line and a lot of time in the pocket to like no time in the pocket.
dude, you're right. You're so right, dude. He's
Like,
C for
his
sure.
biggest struggle was not having enough time in the pocket, even though he had a lot of time in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this guy needs like at least 8 seconds of free time in the pocket to perform
And
well.
uninterrupted, zero pressure time. Like,
And he's gonna get about 1.3 on the Lions.
oh gosh,
So
man.
I think he's gonna be a C this
ugly.
year.
That's a really good take.
All right, here's an interesting one.
Hmm.
Who is that?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay. Whew. That is interesting.
Well,
It's hard to judge after like what 6-8 games or something. Not even
Mhm.
6 games.
a real quick conversation point with this too. Have you guys heard how the Eagles are non-committal about who their starting quarterback's going to be? Like, they
Yes.
won't name Jalen Hurts the starter, which I don't see how that makes any sense to me. Like, who else do they have? I don't know.
Nobody
Yeah, especially
knows.
since they traded down.
Why? Yeah, why are they making it a quarterback comp? Like, are they
Between
just trying to
two.
burn bridges with their quarterback they just burnt the previous bridge to have? I I don't know. It's not looking good. What do you guys think though? C? B? I
If
don't know.
that's the case, I would say C. Because they're looking to replace him. Apparently, if they're got a quarterback competition, so
I think he's extremely athletic,
but I don't think he's
but
that bad.
Right. I think this is a classic not enough information to make a real solid grade, to be honest. So C, I
Yeah.
guess, right?
sure. Okay.
Why not?
Next up, Jameis Winston.
Jameis. Now remember, guys, this is a Jameis Winston who's not blind anymore. He can see who the players are now. You got to keep that in mind when we're doing this.
Dude, this is post eye surgery Jameis Winston.
Yeah, we've never seen a Jameis like this.
Dude, he just might
We've
be
never
like
seen a
A
Jameis like
tier.
this.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I think I want to put him B.
And you got to think, assuming, of course, he is the starting quarterback for the Saints, that's a
Right.
pretty good position to be in.
Yeah. My only knock is what Tom Brady did to the same team he had, pretty much. Not exactly. But, I mean, they did add a lot of pieces, like Gronk and AB and stuff. But, I mean, he still had a great defense and all that and couldn't make the playoffs. But let's see how the vision changes things.
Mhm.
B's fine with me.
Oh. I just think we know what Jameis Winston's capable of on the Bucks, and I think he gets a few. It's a pretty similar situation for him on the Saints as far as like having good receivers, but now he has a really good running back that also has hands. I think it'll be easy for him to perform well, especially post eye surgery.
Right. Now, with this next quarterback and a few others, do we even want to bother ranking rookie to be drafted quarterbacks? We don't even know what team they're going to be on and all that.
I think we should, but we should treat him a little bit differently. Just like,
Yeah.
if Justin Fields were to start for a team, it's kind of hard to predict. So I don't think let's predict any of them to go far. Well, really, the only other two that are going to be drafted are Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. We basically know which team they're going to be put on. So, or Mac Jones too. We also pretty much know what team he's going to be put on. So really, Justin Fields is the only super mystery one.
Ooh, I've seen lots of mock drafts that have like Mac Jones not even being drafted in the top 10.
You think 49ers go with Justin Fields over Mac Jones?
I don't know. I think though outside of I'm more sold that Zach Wilson's probably pretty much definitely the second pick, but I think the next three can go in any order, to be honest.
Is Trey Lance even on this thing?
That's the other thing. I don't think Trey is even on here that I
He's
see.
not. What if we just take Mac Jones and Justin Fields off just because we don't know where they'll be, but we pretty much do know where Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson will be. So,
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so next is Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you guys think he plays on a team? Do you think he starts? I think yes.
I mean Garoppolo, maybe he'll go to the Bears and save him from Andy Dalton or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could go to the Bears, the Patriots.
I'd still, yeah, or Patriots, obviously. That's the thing. It's really hard to say. If he's a Patriot, frick, he's probably going to go to the playoffs and do great. You know what I mean? But I don't know, guys. What do you think?
He's an enigma to me. Because, like, when I watch him, he's nothing special at all. But he does win when he's on the field a
I know.
lot.
That's the thing. I mean, if he's healthy, I think he's a B.
Then let's do a B then, I think.
Yeah.
Makes the most sense.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Probably between B and C, but we can give him the benefit of the doubt and bump him up to B. All right.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, probably B.
I think
Right.
B. I think that's what he was last year until he got injured. His team
Yeah.
absolutely sucks, especially his offensive line. But
Yeah.
so
He'll have a
honestly,
good season. His team won't.
yeah, I think it's impressive that he's a B, being the starting quarterback for Bengal.
Right.
Like,
Definitely.
I think he performs better as a Bengal than Jared Goff does as a Lion.
Mm-hmm. I
Agreed.
agree.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was easy. This one, Josh Allen. I think he's our first A, guys.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I don't think he's quite elite yet, but
Not
he's a guy that's
quite.
going to be in the playoff contention.
I think he'll make it to the playoffs. I think the biggest thing is, I just don't think he's going to take the Bills to the Super Bowl.
This year,
Yeah, and not saying that you can only be in the S tier if you take your team to the Super Bowl. I just think he was a solid A. Sometimes he was borderlining S tier, but I think he's just going to be a solid A again.
Yeah. I mean,
he's better
I
than
could
everybody in the B tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look at, he doesn't belong with those guys. Not right now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, he'll have a better season than everyone in that, in my opinion.
right. I totally agree. Is that so? We got Justin Herbert next.
Yep.
And you may give me flack for this, but I think he's A tier too.
I actually think so too.
I think so too. And I think it's, he's had 1 year, so he's obviously, I've always said any quarterback in the NFL can put together any 1 year. So I'm not going to say for sure that he's going to be consistently great, but we don't have any reason to think he won't be. So I'm fine with putting him in A for now.
I think he's baby Josh Allen
Seriously,
right at this point.
I think he was putting up similar stats to Josh Allen on a worse team last year.
Yeah. It was a really, really, really good rookie year. So
And I think he'll be better this year.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one, Kirk Cousins. I think this is like no matter what, an automatic B, right? Like, can you think of a more average quarterback? I mean, I think before it was Alex Smith, but he's retired now. So I think I think, like the Alex Smith test, stuff like that, it's now the Kirk Cousins test.
That's that's probably actually a really good call. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say B.
Yeah.
Kyler. All right, I don't know if you guys will give me flack for this. You probably will, but I think Kyler deserves to be an A as well. I think he's better than those quarterbacks in B.
I agree. I think based on his solo performance, he's absolutely an A.
This is his best chance. This is the best offense he'll have had his whole career, and it's his third year. This is you need to have matured in the NFL in your third year.
That's
So
true.
we'll see. We'll see. This is the best Cardinals team I've seen in a long time, as far as roster goes. So we'll see. There's no reason to believe that he won't have an A tier level season next year, because the cards are stacked for him rather than against him.
Right. Yeah,
Yep,
I'd
I
agree
agree.
with that.
I agree. Okay. Lamar. Here's my deal with Lamar. I think he's better than everyone in A.
You mean in B?
Better than everyone in A?
Sorry, everyone in B.
Ugh.
So it makes me want to put him like at the end of A.
He definitely is better than that B crop. He can't be sent.
Right. He can't be in the same place as Kirk Cousins.
No, he can't be. You're right. No. And I was definitely down on Lamar last year overall. I thought he kind of regressed. I mean, he definitely regressed from his MVP caliber
But
season.
that's the
There's
thing.
no-
Like, it makes perfect sense. He regressed from S tier to A tier, and I think he'll just stay in A tier for a while.
He regressed, kind of. I mean, he didn't have an MVP level season, and his throwing wasn't as good. But it's hard to say that he sucked. I wouldn't like it was like a complete like 180 or anything like that. Like you're just not going to perform at an MVP level every year. I think just his athleticism at this point in his career, I don't think it lasts. But at this point in his career, going into next year, there's no reason to believe that he can't help carry the Ravens to the postseason and get to an AFC Championship game.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'd agree. And that would be my take. Like, yeah, he didn't have like a bad year or a year where I'm like, he's not good, but he came back down to earth a little bit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he fits in A perfectly. Up next, Matt Ryan. I don't know. These B tiers are too easy for me, guys. I think he's just a B.
Yeah. Easy B. Easy.
I think he's
at this point in his career.
Yeah. I think he's better than Kirk Cousins. Probably better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll probably do better than Joe Burrow. But yeah, he just fits right in the middle of the B crowd to me.
B could have like B1, B2, because I would like put like Matt Ryan with Baker, Ben, Dak, and like maybe even Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the others like in B2.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah,
well,
Matt Ryan's right in the middle of that.
Gets pretty easy, I think. I mean,
I think the next couple are kind of easy.
No brainer.
No brainer.
Say anything at all.
Patrick Mahomes is an S tier.
Yeah. If you don't think that, you're in denial. It's sorry, it's just a fact. Like,
who cares about what happened in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
he's still
nothing's changing.
Played. Yeah, that was not his fault.
And he still he still pulled off some of his career's most amazing throws in that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
All right, up next, I think another fairly easy one. We got Russell Wilson.
I think I'd put Russell Wilson at the top of the A category. He's the best of the A quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
He's borderline S. Like, I don't know. He could be S, but
I think it just depends on like the time of the season. He always starts as an S and ends as the top of A.
Or how exclusive the elite tier is, like I think it's a very, if it's gonna be elite, it's gotta be the few, the proud, the Marines, like
Yeah.
Here's my one. I'm fine with leaving him at top of A, but my one argument is his offensive line is getting work. Already has gotten work, and rumors are that the Seahawks are still going to try and make some moves for the offensive line. And that's the thing. I think if Russell Wilson has a good offensive line, he's an S. But that's all hypothetical, so I'm fine with leaving him in A. All I'm saying is, if anyone in the A has a chance of bumping into the S at some point in the season, it's Russell Wilson.
I think so. That's a good way to put it. All right. Ryan Tannehill next.
Ryan Tannehill.
I'd put him at a B.
Yeah. I would say he's probably higher in the Bs than a number of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd say I'd say
his
top
team
of
does
B.
well.
I'd say like top of B.
Yeah.
He's going to have a good
plays
year.
well.
As long as Derrick Henry is fed and running 2,000 yards, like he's going to have a great season.
Yep.
I
It's as
mean,
simple as that.
and he himself has played well, like ever since he's gotten to Tennessee, he's been above average at quarterback for sure.
Yep.
But not crazy good, but better.
Was that Teddy that you moved?
Yeah, I we'll get Tim last. I just don't know what to do with him right now. All right, up next is Sam Darnold.
What to do with Sammy boy? He went from an awful situation to a pretty dang bad situation. Man, what do you guys think? I think maybe the best of the C tier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
too.
that was what I was gonna say. C tier probably.
Can work up to B tier, kind of.
Yeah, he's on a prove it year. Like we've seen flashes of talent on the Jets, but like, can he have a good year with the Panthers? He could. So, but we still have yet to see it. I don't have any reason to believe that he'll be like amazing on the team. So C's good.
I think he's top of C, scratching the bottom of B, but it really comes down to his performance at the Panthers, which I think will be better than the Jets. I think he'll perform better than he was at the Jets, but I think it still comes down to kind of his mistakes that he consistently makes and stuff like that. I think we'll still see those. Okay, guys, Matt Stafford.
This one's tough. This might be like the most out on a limb I've been yet, but I could see him being in an A situation and with the talent lots of us thinks he has, but it's hard because he obviously hasn't accomplished much for his team as far as wins and losses in a while. So I'd say he could be A or he could easily be B.
No, I agree. I like him as an A because I'm kind of looking through the B tier, and as a quarterback, as far as IQ and physical traits go, I think he's actually better than almost everyone on that list, and maybe even so. I think he's gonna have a terrific year.
Me too.
I
just think
fine with him being A.
I don't think there's any team you could be happier to get transferred onto than the Rams right now. But he's in a really good situation to have by far his best season of his career. And the best season of Matt Stafford's career is definitely an A.
Definitely. I think so.
Hey, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh, you got Red Teddy. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Tom Brady. Yep. He's got to be.
He's got to be S.
He's got to be S. I mean, marched his team all the way to win
Yeah.
a Super Bowl, right? I don't know.
Yeah. As far as just knowing how to play quarterback, there's no one better on that list.
I think with Tom, it's not so much stats and performance. It's like a mixture of stats and performance and then the intangibles. Like I just can't explain why he wins so much and wins so many Super Bowls, but he does. And it's a
Yeah.
combination of a lot of things. And here's the big thing. He just like turned a team from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, like, mediocre to the Super Bowl champs. And it's going to be the exact same team.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. He's not the stat guy. You think of just pure talent, and you usually would say, "Oh, I would take Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers." But with Tom Brady, the only stat he cares about is the only stat that matters, and that's playoff wins and losses. And
Yeah.
he does
He's
have a
definitely
better
S
stat
tier in
than
those,
anyone.
man.
That's how he
all
measures
does.
success, right?
And that's, yeah, he's right. So for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, Trevor Lawrence, one of the prospects, most likely a Jaguar. I think he's a great quarterback, but being a Jaguar, I think he's probably B.
I was going to say B, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, these rookie grades are going to be so hard. Obviously, you just have no idea that when you haven't seen him in a single NFL uniform. But when you're just looking at potential, he's one of the most touted draft prospects at the position in a long time. So,
and he's got a good coach, as in the college level, which doesn't always translate to the NFL. But we do know that Urban Meyer can coach. So the Jaguars aren't super talented. That's the only worry for me is at this point is they don't have a ton of talent on the team.
Yeah.
But they're going to be well coached.
They'll be well coached and well quarterbacked. Most
Definitely.
likely. But yeah, I think he'll be a B. I just don't think he's on the right team, like you said, with talent around him. I think he's capable of being an A, pulling off like a Justin Herbert season, but I think he's just on a worse team than Justin Herbert. So
lucky for him, the AFC South is an interesting division, whereas the Texans are, our worst team, the Jaguars now nosedived into oblivion. And then we don't know what the Colts are, and the Titans are like a solid 10-6 team every year. Like that, you can make the playoffs in a division like that.
Yeah, they definitely could. Definitely.
Yeah, quite a window this season, that's for sure.
All right, Mitch Trubisky. I think we just put him right next to his good old buddy Nick Foles because I think Andy Dalton.
He was replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Andy Dalton.
He hardly even deserves to be ranked. He should be next to Teddy, but whatever. But we'll let him on. Why not? Sure.
All right. Up next is Tua. How do you say his last name? Tua Tagovailoa?
Tagovailoa?
For the what?
You'll know to say Tua's last name this whole time?
Nope.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay, Tua Tagovailoa. That's why I've always just referred to him as Tua because I don't want to try and pronounce his last name. It's a cool name.
Yeah. B?
B tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a decent season.
I think I want to put him in an A just because I kind of need him to be in an A if I win that bet that Austin and I have. I need him to get like at least 30 passing touchdowns, so I'm really hoping for A.
And you're lucky you have an extra game to get there. At the time, there wasn't an extra game.
You're absolutely, dude. Oh my gosh, I am gonna die when he gets it in week 17.
Oh man, that's funny. I didn't think about that.
Okay, yep. Tua Tagovailoa
Carson.
is a B.
Yeah, I'd say B. There's no reason to. He hasn't shown anything that says A.
Yeah, he could.
That doesn't
I think
mean-
he could.
He could be, but
Yeah.
from what we've seen so far, like,
Which is not much.
yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. He could have a Matt Ryan season, and he's in B. So
Right. Yeah. That's where he deserves for now.
All right. These last couple are interesting. Carson Wentz, guys. Starting for the Colts. New program. Same coach that was his quarterback coach when he had an MVP running year. So
But we got to keep in mind though, like he was the worst starting quarterback in the league last year.
yes.
He was the absolute worst. Drew Lock played better than him, dude. Like,
So
I
what do you
don't know,
think,
man.
bro? What do you think? Is he a C? Is he a D?
Dude, I think at best, in my opinion, he's the worst of the C's right now. I mean,
That's
He
what you
just
think
gotta
he's
be.
going to do this year. He's going to be the worst of the C's this coming season.
nothing I saw from last year makes me think he'll be any better. Obviously, he's in an okay situation. I mean, they have a good defense, but they're not super stacked, the Colts, on offense. I mean, their top wideout's T.Y. Hilton. He's old, man. He's way old. I don't know. I'd say C. What about you, Austin? What do you think?
I think that's actually as down as I was on him. Like, I think that he can play as well as an aging Phillip Rivers in that system. I think it's less about the personnel. He's got a much better O-line with the Colts. And I think coach quarterback relationship can have as good of effect as just having talented people. I would say he's top end C at worst, bottom end B at best. But I mean, you know,
He's hard. I mean, I don't know if there's any quarterback on this list where we've seen such high highs and low lows besides Cam Newton. To
right,
be honest,
right,
like that's kind
Yeah.
of like the comp on this list, so it's kind of tough.
yeah. Where
And he played worse than Cam last year.
He
We
did.
got it was worse than Cam Newton. So I don't know. It is the situation saves him. If he were still in the Eagles, he's D tier
I agree.
for sure.
well,
I
yeah,
100% agree.
yeah. I would say that I agree with that. Well, what was he worse than Cam Newton? What was his numbers?
I mean, you're right. I'm judging that based off of my eye test and memory. I don't have stats pulled up, so
Because I know like Cam Newton only threw like, or even just had 8 touchdowns or something like that. So it's not.
well,
I don't know. I don't know how many touchdowns Carson Wentz threw. It
Yeah.
depended on the game.
All I know is I didn't see hardly anything good. But yeah, I think what you said is good though, Austin. Like C tier, I would probably say low end B is too high for just how bad a season he's coming off of. But
Okay. I can come to terms with that. No, because I mean it was bad. It was bad last
it
year.
was ugly.
It was.
But wait, and here's the other thing. Like, do we like Carson Wentz better than Jalen Hurts? Yes or no? Like going into the year.
I guess that makes sense. I like the Colt situation better than the Eagle situation. I don't know anybody outside of like the S tier and maybe a few from the A tier that would succeed with the Eagles right now.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I guess they can be in the same tier, close enough to each other. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's fun though.
All right. Next is Zach Wilson, going to be a Jet, most likely.
I would say C tier for him.
Yeah.
I can't dump on him D tier at this point because they shouldn't be looking to replace the guy they just drafted. But he's going to be on the Jets. So
Right. Yeah, like any draft prospect, he's got a lot of potential, but that's it, and he's going into a nasty situation. I mean, not it's the situation was previously really bad. Hopefully, with change of coach and well, really, the only thing they have so far is change of coach. They don't have any other real improvements besides that so far.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the coaching change is a big improvement. But here's what I honestly think. I think Zach Wilson is going to have a C performance of a year, but I don't think you can give him too much flack for it just because it's the team around him. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ever going to be in danger of being replaced by the Jets or potentially cut or anything like that. I think he has a C performance, but I think it's going to be more to blame on what's around him than so much him himself.
I agree with you that that'll happen, but I disagree on what could end up being his fate or how he's regarded. And I think you can ask Sam Darnold how like that went. How many people cut him slack and say it's not your fault? Some people do, but he's still cut and or traded, I should say rather.
Yeah.
But anyway, and that's it. These other guys, we don't really. I mean, Teddy. I don't know.
I mean, we can put Teddy next to Mitch and Nick. Got replaced.
He was replaced.
Right. Rough, dude.
All right.
All right. Real quick, just spitball. If Deshaun was playing, probably just A tier, right?
I would just put him A, yeah.
Yeah, I would say A, yeah.
Right next to Russell, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I really like this list. Like, I think the standard deviation and the statistically, like,
like, just look at it, dude. It looks nice. Like, I see what you mean. Yeah, this looks very correct.
Right.
Austin,
like, no one's too high. It drives me crazy because I see on some football groups I'm in, like D tier, it says average. Like they put the word average and they like name the tiers. And the bottom tier is average. I'm like, by definition, that's not even true. Like, how can the worst people be average? That's
a good point.
I'm gonna read. Seriously. I'm gonna for our listeners. I'm gonna read off the tiers real quick.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right. So starting at the S tier, we've got Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady. In the A tier, scratching the S tier, we've got Russell Wilson. We've got Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Matt Stafford. In the B tier, our largest tier, we've got Ryan Tannehill, Dak Prescott, Ben Roethlisberger, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Jimmy Garoppolo. C tier, we've got Aaron Donald, Zach Wilson,
Sam Darnold.
Oh, what did I say? Aaron Donald. Sam Darnold.
Dude, it's good.
Sam Darnold.
Zach Wilson.
Daniel Jones.
Thank you.
It's so hard. I was thinking Chase Daniels earlier. Like, man.
That's a different quarterback.
This whole time I've been reading off the list, I'm like, I know everyone's name, but this guy right here, I'm going to struggle with it. Daniel Jones. Then we've got Drew Lock, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts. And then in the D tier, we've got Cam Newton, the mystery man himself. He's either an NFL player or an ex-NFL inmate.
Deshaun Watson.
Thank you, Deshaun Watson. Then next to him in the D tier, we've got Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater, the three backups, most likely. And then, of
Right.
course, Alex Smith retired. And then Justin Fields and Mac Jones are kind of just too mysterious. They'll probably be playing in the NFL. We just don't know how or where.
Whoa. Whoa. We're missing somebody. Ryan
Who?
Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
Oh,
they
you're
don't have
right.
Fitzmagic in here.
All
Because
right.
he as far right now he's starting for
Yeah.
the Washington football team.
So let's just put we'll use Alex Smith's photo since it's the same team at least. And
Right.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be up here somewhere.
Oh, oh no, my thing died.
I think C. I think top of C.
Yeah, it was between bottom B, top C for me. C's fine with me. Seeing he's a career backup, and that's all that
Right.
you'll ever get.
Yeah, I agree with Austin. I could go either way. So if he's in C, might as well just leave him there, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan, but
Yeah, you're magical,
Yeah. He's got
but only
magic.
sometimes.
Exactly. It doesn't last.
which I think you can say about a lot of these C players.
Yeah, yep, some more than others. But
Yeah.
look, I told you guys, look at this list. For those watching or those who are listening, this is fact. Like this is exactly the correct order for the quarterbacks. We got it right.
In fact,
So
if you are so bold to disagree with us, please comment or tweet us and let us tell you why you're wrong.
yeah, we'll tell you why you're wrong. You know, we're gonna have some. Yeah, I hate to say it, Austin, but you know we're gonna have some boys saying Dak is S for sure. Like, like how can you say he's not top tier? Like, I'm ready
Yeah.
for that. You know,
I'll take care of them boys.
you gotta. Sometimes
take
you
care of
just
them
gotta be
boys.
realistic. That's all you gotta. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, gotta be
You
a
know,
realist sometimes.
I think by default, if like every NFL fan were to see this list, I think the most disagreement would just be Dak Prescott because of Cowboys fans. But I think the second most disagreed one would probably be a tie between Baker Mayfield and Trevor Lawrence, because I think Baker Mayfield is just like the king of Cleveland, and Trevor Lawrence is just like everyone's so high on his stock when they really shouldn't be that high, but for some reason absolutely everyone is, including like Colin Cowherd and like all these like actual professional sports analysts. But yeah, I think those are the two that would get the most disagreement.
I think
you're
it's the
right.
other way. Like I think there are people with a high stubborn belief that if you haven't taken a snap in the NFL, you don't even like C is like the highest you could be, if, like maybe even D, just because.
That's true.
I could see that going either way. But
All right. Well,
Well,
thanks for listening, guys. This is our tier list of the NFL quarterbacks in the year 2021, or the season of 2021-2022. Thanks for keeping it real. Thanks for listening, making it this far. Please comment if you disagree. We'd love to argue with you or agree with you if you're actually that smart, but probably not. And of course, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications if you haven't, so you can see when our next content comes out. It's the draft next week. We're all looking forward to that and then talking about it afterwards. Until then, have a good week.
later.